Hello children, welcome back to the class. Hope you all are fine and attending the class in a good spirit. So, we are back to the class with Julius Caesar and here we will continue with Act-2, Scene-1 that is to be continued in the class. I hope you will understand the video and you will like it, share it and subscribe it. So, back to the scene. In the last class, we have seen that at Brutus's place, all the conspirators have come together to hash the plan, or the plan that has been hashed to proceed with their action. And now Brutus says all the conspirators to come and join their hands. And Cassius asks them to take an oath or a promise. Brutus, hearing the word oath, says that the men who have strong motivations and the motivations are true enough, strong enough to bind the willpower of the person, to bind them with each other. Now here, Brutus, no, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferings of our souls, the times abuse, if these be motives weak, break off betimes, and every man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sighted tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery. That means Brutus disagreed to take any promise or an oath. He says that the trouble that the Romans are facing, the suffering that their souls are going through, and the evil time that the Romans are going through, the evil time that is the tyrannical rule of Caesar, the dictatorship of Caesar. So, if these motives are not enough to bind the person, to bind these people to commit their action, then these people may just go and leave the place, and they just go and have a very happy and a very nice sleep at their home. Just they can leave this plan and they can go to their bed. And let this tyrannical rule of Caesar may continue and the suffering of the Rome may continue. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steel with valor the melting spirits of women, then countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? That means, but he thinks that these reasons, the sufferings of the people of Rome, the sufferings of their soul, the evil time that the Romans are going through, and this tyrannical rule of Caesar are enough. These reasons are enough not only to commit the action, but it is enough to even to rise the feeling of power among the spirits of women. The women's spirits are a little bit soft and kind-hearted. But these reasons for the welfare of the country, for the welfare of the countrymen, even the women will come in front and stand for their country. So this cause, Brutus says, is enough to bind them to continue with their action. What other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the words and will not falter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engage? That means they did not need any oath or promise to take because these Romans are truthful persons. They're honest enough. So their honesty itself is a bond. Their character itself is a bond. They don't need any kind of extra oath or promise to make to each other to have the faith, because they are the people who will never deceive each other. They will never deceive each other. They will never deceive their country. And they will also keep this secret, the secret of the plan. That honesty to honesty engage, and this shall be, or will fall for it. Swear priest, that means he said, swear priest and cowards and men courteous, old feeble carriers and such suffering souls, that welcome wrongs unto bad causes swear. Such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the even virtue of enterprise. That means he says that we are honest enough, we are true enough, we are strong enough to just have to commit the action. We did not need any kind of promise or an oath to bind us. But the person who are weak, who are deceitful, that means who are going to deceive somebody, to cheat somebody, such people, they take promises. Because they are afraid that their promise may break. They can go into some other path. They may deceive. So they take the promise. That welcome wrongs unto bad causes swear. That means those people who are doing something wrong, cheating others, they are the people who swear. They are the people who take the promises. Such creatures as men doubt and do not stay. That means the person who are doubtful, who are deceitful, they only take the promises. But the men who are full of value, like them, full of vigor, who stand for their country, who fight for their country, who have a noble cause, the cause to save their country and countrymen, not the insuppressive metal of our spirits to think that all our cause or our performance did need an oath. That means their motivation, their reason is so strong, they do not need any kind of promise to keep. They don't promise to continue their plan. So they did not need any oath. Each and every drop of blood, they are honest men, they are noble men. This speaks for the country only. That every man bears and nobly bears. That means the blood that is flowing through the veins of the Romans. Now, if anybody, the person who have come together to hatch a plan, those who have planned to kill Caesar, to murder Caesar, if anybody, any one of them, deceives or cheat them, then that person will be guilty. And each and every blood of that person will be guilty for his own cause. If he to break the smallest particle of any promise that had passed from him, that if he break the promise, if he break his words, his motivations becomes weak, then he will be found guilty. Cautious. But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us. Now, Cautious, Cicero has not yet come, and so he is worried that whether we will take Cicero or we will just leave him out from the plan. Casca, let us not leave him out. Cinna, no, by no means, that they are not going to take any chance of missing Cicero. Now, Metellus Simba, oh, let us have him, for his silver hair will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to command our deeds. It shall be said his judgment ruled our hands. Our youths and wilderness shall no wit appear, but all be buried in his gravity. Now he says that Metellus Simba says that Cicero is an elderly man, a noble man of Rome, an honorable man. And behind his grey hair, behind his experience, behind his that look, behind his character, their guilt is going to be their guilt is going to be hidden. That means they will not be judged by the people of Rome in a wrong way, but their action will be judged by the people as an act for the country. So, and people will praise their deed. They will be called as it will be called as a good action on behalf of the country. And because these persons are quite youth, they're young and their wild nature, their character, if they did not take Cicero in their plan, so their age and their character is not going to justify their action. They are going to be looked down as murderers. But if Cicero takes part in this plan, then his character, his position in Rome will always act as a safeguard for those men. Brutus, oh, name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin. Now Brutus says, don't mention his name, don't talk about him, because he's an elderly man and he is not in habit of following others. So let us not open our plans to him. So Brutus refuses to discuss the plan with Cicero. He said because he never follows anything that is started by other men. Cassius, let leave him out. Casca, indeed, he is not fit. Now just look how their opinion changes about Cicero. Now Cassius says, okay, just leave him. He's not going to follow us. He's not going to cooperate with us. Casca, okay, he's not fit only. Decius Brutus, shall no man else be touched but only Caesar? Now he says that we will not going to kill any other person but just Caesar. Cassius, Decius, well urged, well said. It's a good point. I think it is not meet. Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar, we shall find of him. That means he says that we should not leave Mark Antony because he dearly loves Caesar, and to live after Caesar's death, it will prove to be a danger. That means if Mark Antony survives after the death of Caesar, it's going to be troublesome for them because uh, he's going to use his influences to put them in trouble. A shrewd contriver, and you know his means. If you improve them, that means the sources that he had, if he uses them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, wish to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together. So he says, Cassius says that he has so many sources, and if he uses them properly, if he uses all his sources and all his power, then it's going to be a danger for these conspirators. So Cassius advised that along with Caesar, Antony should also be murdered. Brutus. Our course will seem too bloody, Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath in death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrifices, not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spade of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. That means he says that if we kill Mark Antony along with Caesar, it's going to look very much bloody. It's going to be look more ruthless. Because we have a motivation to kill Caesar for the sake of Rome and not any other person. So he says that Caesar is just like the head and Mark Antony is two limbs, two hands. So if we cut off the head, the limbs will not have any action, will not do any action. And their act should look like a patriotic act, a sacrifices act, not like a murderer. And it is that they are going to kill Caesar. They are going to kill Caesar, but not dismember Caesar. He's not going to harm any other person except Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. Because he says he loves Caesar, but the actions of Caesar is going to be dangerous for me. Now they are going to kill Caesar. It's going to be bloody because stains of blood are going to be there. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly but not badly. That means we should do the act boldly with courage and not radly, because we don't have any personal reason to kill Caesar. The reason to kill Caesar, the reason behind to kill Caesar is just for the sake of Rome, for the people of Rome, and not any personal vengeance or any personal anger. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. That means we will just kill him and just to serve like God, and not like those and not to chop him like carcass or cut off for the dogs. So it should not look like a murder. And let our hearts, as supple masters do, strip up their servants to an act of rage, and after seem to chide, this shall make our purpose necessary and not envious. That means, as some intelligent masters incite their servants to commit an angry act and then rebuke them. That means, this is an act they have done not for the sake of just anger or to take revenge, but it is an act for the goodwill, for the well-being of the people. Now, our purpose was necessary, and they are going to explain it. That he says that this is an act of necessity, because if they will not kill Caesar, the tyranny will rule. So, for the sake of the country, he has to be killed, and not any kind of jealousy or revenge. With so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. So, if we kill Caesar, the public of Rome, they will treat them as the sacrificers, as the purifiers who are going to purify the country, and not the murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm bends Caesar's head off. He says, when Caesar will fall, when he will die, Mark Antony will have no power or nothing to do against them. Cassius, yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar. Cassius says, but I'm still scared of him, I'm afraid of him, because he loved Caesar from the depth of his heart. Brutus, alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wilderness, and much company. And Brutus says that if he loves Caesar very much, then if we just think of him, he will be shocked. He will be in he will fall. He will be in grief, and then he will die with Caesar after some time. Otherwise, he is a man who loves sports. He loves to make fun, and so he will be indulged in some other company, with some other friends, in some other circle, and he will be doing sports, and he will have food. He will enjoy his life. Tribonius, there is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter. Clock strikes. Now, Tribonius says, okay, leave him. So we should not be afraid of him. And that he will continue his life, he will continue to live, and he will just laugh afterwards. Brutus, please count the clock. At that time only the clock strikes. The time is, it's going to be morning now. Cassius, the clock had stricken 3. It's time to part. So now the conspirators, the plan has been hatched, the plan has taken place, and now they are going to part. They are going to move to their own places. Cassius, the clock had stricken 3. It's 3. Tribonius, it's time to part. Cassius, but it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for his superstitious grown of late. Quite from the main opinion he held once, a fantasy of dreams and ceremonies. That means, he says that now it's time to move apart. But Cassius said it is doubtful. It is not sure that Caesar will come to the capital or not, because Caesar is a very superstitious man. And for the last the information that he has got, that he believes in his fantasies and dreams. That means even if in his fantasies, imagination, he sees anything that is wrong or something that is negative, or in his dreams if he finds something wrong, then he may cancel the plan. He is a person of weak heart or mind. It may be this apparent prodigious and unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers, he may hold him from the capital today. He says that today night, the night was a dreadful one, it's a dangerous one. That is the blood falling from the sky, the dead men walking up and down, the lion moving about the streets. So if he comes to know about this night, then it's sure that Caesar is not going to come to the capital. Decius Brutus, never fear that. If he be so resolved, that is, if it is the problem, it will be solved. I can say him, for he loves to hear, that unicorns may be trade with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does. Being then most flattered, let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital. So Decius takes the responsibility to bring Caesar to the capital. For he says that he is very fond of being told how easy it is to deceive a unicorn by pretending to take shelter behind the tree or capturing it. And bears by placing mirror in their path, entrapping elephants by digging pits, catching lions by laying nets, and betraying men by flattery. But when I tell him that he hates the flatterers, he is then at once taken in and says that he really does so. That means he hates the person who boasts around. And once he said that, he will just agree to come to the capital. And that's the best way of flattering him. More than all, that when he will say that it is so easy to overcome the fear. The fear, the superstitious thought can be overcome. Let me work on him. So he says, Decius, think about it the way by just bring him to the capital. Cassius. Nay, he will all four of us be there to fetch him. Okay, not only you, but we will all go together to bring Caesar to the capital. Brutus. By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost? Will that be the time? Cinna. Be that the uttermost and fail not then. That means it is the time and don't fail. That means all should be there present. Metellus Simba. Case Ligarius. Doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him. That means Case Ligarius, another character, had a strong dislike for Caesar. That's another person who hates Caesar. He does not like Caesar. For Caesar rebuked him. Caesar has been stern at him, treated him very badly because he has praised Pompey, the previous ruler of Rome. And it's surprising, and it was quite surprising that everybody has forgotten about him. Nobody has mentioned the name of Caius Ligarius, Brutus. Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I will fashion. He says, Metellus, just go and bring him, and tell him that Brutus have given him cause. And when he will come, he will, by his speeches, by his words, he is going to influence him. He is going to make him a part of the plan. Cassius. The morning comes upon, we'll all leave you. Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves. But you remember what you have said and show yourselves to Rome. That means it's a time to get back to their work, to their home. And now, without fail, they should execute their plan. They should go ahead with their plan. So children, today we will stop here only. I hope you have understood the class, and I think you have liked the video and you will share it and subscribe it. So till then, the next class we will continue and hope we are going to end the scene. We will end the scene 1. Thank you.